Okay, guys, as we're getting started, I'm just going to let everyone know we are recording this meeting. That way, in case anyone misses it, we can have a recording of the meeting. Don't forget that last minute, if you want to get your answers in to tell us what your favorite fall activity is, you can go ahead and drop that in the chat box. Again, to find the chat box, you can find it, the conversation bubble up at the top right of your computer screen or the bottom right of your cell phone. And we'll give it just a few more minutes and then we'll go ahead and get started. I'm so glad everyone could join us today. If you don't mind just keeping your mics muted unless you'd like to join the conversation and share something with us. I see that Alyssa enjoys pumpkin carving. And Alyssa, just so you know, a little teaser for what we'll talk about in a bit, but we are allowing carving this year for our pumpkin decorating contest. Since it'll be a picture submission type contest, you can go ahead and carve a pumpkin and enter your carved pumpkin into the contest. So super exciting. Oh, I see Shyla's answered also. Her favorite fall activity is hunting season. Don't blame her. Okay, it looks like it's right at 4 o'clock, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm glad that everyone has put their favorite fall activity in the chat. And welcome to our very first St. Martin Parish 4-H virtual at-large meeting. I'm super excited y'all could join us today. My name is Miss Hannah, and I'm one of the 4-H agents here in St. Martin Parish. The other 4-H agent is Miss Hope. And she'll be jumping on to present in just a few minutes. So thanks for bearing with us. I know this meeting was rescheduled after the hurricane last week when it was originally scheduled. So I'm glad that y'all could make it today to be with us. Just a little information, we are using Microsoft Teams for this meeting. Just a little update on how to use this. If you see the toolbar up at the top of your screen, there's some different icons. The camera screen does turn your camera on and off. It's probably, it saves some bandwidth or some internet usage if we keep our cameras off. If there's something you'd like to share with us, feel free to go ahead and enable your camera for that portion. The same thing with the microphone. Whoever's presenting or talking at the time can enable their microphone, but go ahead and keep yourself muted while the other people are talking, and that just kind of helps with the background noise for the meeting. The conversation bubble is the way to access the chat box. So if you have a question, you can definitely go ahead and drop it in the chat box, or feel free to enable your microphone, turn your mic on, and just ask the question over the live feed there. If anyone has any questions along the way, chat box, microphone, way to go. We're going to keep having people join us. I'm glad everyone's able to come in. And then this next slide, I'll turn it over to Ms. Hope.
All right, since this is the first time we're doing a virtual meeting, we just wanted to go over some etiquette for virtual meetings. The first thing is to be prepared. During a virtual meeting, you should find a quiet place that is distraction-free and make sure your computer is charged or plugged in so it doesn't die in the middle of the meeting. Timeliness is important. Try to log on to the meeting a few minutes before the start time and check out your technology to make sure your mic or your video is working properly. Always be respectful. Mute your mic when others are speaking, and that way there's not feedback. Raise your hand to speak. Miss Hannah showed you where the little raise your hand icon was. You can type questions in the chat box. Be kind and considerate of everybody else's feelings and statements and comments. We want you to participate. We want you to be focused, attentive, pay attention, speak clearly, look into the camera when you're speaking or presenting, and if possible, show your 4-H pride, dress appropriately, consider wearing a 4-H t-shirt. So even though I'm home, I have my shooting sports t-shirt on representing. So just a way to remind me that I'm at a 4-H meeting. I'll turn it back over to Ms. Hannah.
Awesome. Okay, moving forward. So we're going to start this 4-H meeting just like we would start our meeting if we were in person. I am going to ask that you stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the 4-H pledge. I know for some of you, this may be your very first 4-H meeting. So I did put the words on the screen for you, so you can go ahead and follow along with us. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. So if everyone please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And next we'll have the 4-H pledge. I pledge my head to clearer thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living. For my club, my community, my country, and my world. You may all be seated. Okay, to start us off, we'd like to welcome you to St. Martin Parish 4-H. Our office is located at 114 Courthouse Street, which is right next to the library, across the street from H&R Block or the donut shop. That's where you can find us. Miss Hope and I are still working part-time from home and part-time from our office. So we do have someone here to answer the phone. We have a drop box if you need to drop something off. So if you ever have anything to drop off here at the 4-H office, someone will be here from 8 to 4:30. But if someone's not here, you can just slip it through the little slot at the door. Our phone number and fax machine number is there in case you need to reach us. We also have a website, and you can find us also on social media. We have a Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest account. So we do update those regularly with different things that's going on. Like I said, Miss Hope and I are your 4-H agents. Just a little bit about both of us. Miss Hope has been a 4-H agent since I was in 4-H, so I love to tell that story. I've been here just about 3 years now, so we both love 4-H, and we both work together to go to different meetings and run the different programs. So if you have any questions, be looking for these people when you see us in person, or if not, you have a little idea of who you're talking to if you're reaching out to us via email or over the phone. So the number one question we're going to start with today is how to enroll or how to join 4-H. So our Member at Large Club is available to all St. Martin Parish residents from 3rd through 12th grade or 8 to 19 years old who meet at least one of the following criteria. You attend the St. Martin Parish virtual school, if you're homeschooled, if you live in St. Martin Parish but attend school outside of the parish, if there's no 4-H club at the school that you're currently going to, or if you have no other opportunity to join 4-H, then the Member at Large Club is for you. If you'll see on the screen, there is a website, and Miss Hope also dropped that link in the chat box. And that is the link that you'll click on to enroll in 4-H. Also, you can scan that QR code and save that website for later with your cell phone. And that is where you'll enroll for 4-H. So when you're filling out your enrollment card and you get to the part that says what's the name of your school club, that's where you'll put Member at Large. So if someone would ask you what 4-H club are you in, you would say I'm in the at large 4-H club or a member at large. So you'll just fill that information out, and then that because it's virtual this year, the enrollment card Miss Hope and I'll get a notification, and then you can drop off or mail your $10 dues to the 4-H office, and we'll post our address again, or you can drop it off in the slot box here at our office. Again, we're next to the library, across the street from H&R Block. So dues are $10, and fill out your form online. Any questions about enrollment at all? Or how to get signed up for 4-H? Awesome. Anyone have a question? Okay. Let's see. So just a little information on 4-H. The 4-H motto is to make the best better. This motto challenges everyone involved in 4-H to do the very best job that you can. So we might see this when we're working together at a club meeting, or if you're working on your project book or things like that. The 4-H colors are green and white, and green symbolizes nature's most common color, while white symbolizes purity. The 4-H emblem is a 4-leaf clover with an H in each of the 4 leaves in it. And the 4 H's stand for head, heart, hands, and health. So if you were paying attention when we said the 4-H pledge earlier, then you would have noticed that we talked about each of those 4 H's, our head, our heart, our hands, and our health. And that's really what we try to focus on in every program in 4-H. So now to get to the fun part, would someone like to turn their mic on, or you could put it in the chat, but tell me an example of a food that's made with flour that you like to eat? So you can tell me in the chat, or you can turn your mic on.
Bread.
Pizza.
Bread, pizza, a cookie. We've been liking pumpkin bagels at my house. Scones, Miss Hope's favorite are scones. Awesome. Okay, so have you ever made any foods using flour? Has anyone ever baked anything using flour?
I bake cakes.
Cakes?
Brownies as well.
Brownies, good, good. Okay. Does anyone know where flour comes from? Where do we get flour? Any idea? Is there wheat? Good job. Okay, so flour comes from wheat, right? So, whenever wheat is grown, it's then milled into and ground into flour. So today we're going to discover the secret ingredient in flour that forms the basis of all the flour products you like to eat. We're going to discover a secret ingredient, which is a certain kind of protein that comes out when flour and water are mixed together and kneaded. After the starch is washed away, we'll be left with our secret ingredient. So I'm going to show this video. If y'all don't start seeing it in just a couple seconds, y'all let me know. Thumbs up if you can see the video. Okay, so what did we see at the end result in that video? What happened whenever we washed the flour away in the water? Any idea what we were left with? Any ideas? The gluten. Good job, Allie. So gluten is a part of flour, and it's actually the protein that's in the flour. It's what gives baked goods their structure. So whenever you bake cakes or bread, especially, think about how bread rises and then it stays puffed up, right? Hopefully it doesn't deflate along the way. So the structure in that bread or in those different baked goods is what the gluten holds on to it, that structure, and keeps it staying puffy, or keeps it in that same shape. So this is just the first of many fun lessons. We'll do one of these each month. This is part of our What's on Your Plate lesson study. So during our monthly club meetings, we'll be learning about different things, different food science topics behind and busting different myths and things like that on what's on our plate. And this is really geared towards our 3rd through 6th grade 4-H members. But if you've been a member at large before, you know that we always cover all the different topics because we have different grade levels in this club. So that is our special program for our 3rd through 6th graders, and then our 7th through 12th graders throughout the whole year at your club meetings, we'll be focusing on adulting 101. So adulting, I was asked a club earlier this week, when you think of adulting, what do you think about? So I'm interested to see y'all's answers. Does anyone want to drop in the chat what they think about whenever they hear the word adulting? Taxes, chores. The answer I got earlier in the week was bills. Bills, bills, bills. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Awesome. Okay, so life skills are the most important skills in life. And that's pretty self-explanatory. But can you imagine what a typical day would look like if you didn't possess any life skills? Many teens may graduate academically prepared, but don't know and understand the responsibilities of moving into the adult world. And that's where life skills come in. Okay, so we're going to play a quick little game of Would You Rather. Okay, so if you'd rather the first option, put A in the chat box. And if you would prefer the second option, put B in the chat box. Okay, so would you rather A, cook your own meals, or B, eat out all the time? A, cook your own meals, or B, eat out all the time? We have a lot of cooks. Awesome. Would you rather A, live at home forever, or B, strike out and live on your own? A, live at home forever, or B, strike out and live on your own? Oh, we have a lot of independent ones here. Awesome. Would you rather A, have more time, or B, have more money? A, have more time, or B, have more money? That was a tough one for me. I don't think I could decide. Okay. Would you rather A, immediately remove clothes from the dryer and hang them up, or B, press clothes with an iron? A, immediately remove clothes from the dryer and hang them up, or B, press clothes with an iron? Miss Hannah rather do both. Take them out of the dryer and then press them right away. I don't know if we have a lot of ironers in this group. Would you rather A, mop the floor, or B, vacuum? A, mop the floor, or B, vacuum? Vacuum for sure. I see y'all. Y'all all B's. No moppers around. Would you rather A, live alone, or B, live with your best friend? A lot of y'all looking for roommates. Would you rather A, be given $1,000 right now, or B, be given $50 a month for the rest of your life? Okay, I see y'all planning for the future. I see that. Would you rather A, job that you hate but pays $1 million a year, or B, a job that you love and pays enough to get by? Would you rather A, cut your own grass, or B, hire someone? Awesome. Okay, so success in life doesn't just happen. It takes work. Hundreds of tasks are required to manage your home, your money, your relationships, plus much more to make your life the best that it can be. So now we're going to have a little quiz. Let's see who can guess in the chat box, or you can turn your mic on, whichever you feel most comfortable with. But who knows what this is? A tire air
gauge.
pressure gauge. Yes, good job. What about this one?
It looks like a filter.
A car air filter. Way to go, Allie, because I did not know what this was going to look like when I Googled it. But this is a car carbon air filter. What about this one? I know some of y'all get it. We've got some cooks in the house.
Spatula.
Good job. A spatula. Rubber spatula. Good job. What's this one?
Plunger.
A plunger. Good job, y'all. A plunger. The real question is, do you know how to use it? I remember, I think it was maybe 2 years ago, I went on a trip and I was chaperoning, and with it, one of the hotel rooms needed a plunger. So they called the front desk, they had a plunger delivered to the room, and then the girls that were staying in the room, they called me and they said, Miss Hannah, we need to use a plunger. And I said, okay, great, use it. And they said, but we don't know how. So that was a learning experience where we then had how to use a plunger one-on-one lesson. So knowing it's a plunger is a step one, but knowing how to use it is step two. Who knows what this is?
Sewing set.
A sewing set. Miss Hannah keeps one in her desk drawer. I was actually going to show it to y'all. Oh, look, here it is. And it's in a glitter baggie, a little container. Super cool, super handy to have about. I like to keep one in my car and one at work, just in case. You never know when you're gonna pop a button, need to sew something up. Okay, so planning your meals in advance, setting a system of reminders to pay your bills on time, filling up the gas tank when it reaches half full, setting your clothes out the night before, all of these things are part of being an adult. Are working your way towards it, okay? So be a lifelong learner and master these skills just in the beginning, okay? I am going to take a minute to pull up another quick little life skills quiz. But in the meantime, I would love for y'all to share in the chat what is something you've learned from either the gluten lesson or the life skills lesson. So go ahead and drop something in the chat. What is one thing you've learned today from either the gluten lesson or the life skills lesson? Okay, while y'all are writing that, we're going to do another quick little quiz. I thought this quiz was super fun and had a lot of cool hints for y'all. So y'all can just use your mics to say, to answer these if you'd like. Okay, y'all ready? Which of these everyday items can be used to treat a minor cut? Super glue, silly putty, scotch tape, or duct tape?
Super glue.
Awesome. After how many miles should you change your car's oil?
10,000.
5,000.
5,000.
5,000. Awesome. I know we have some new car owners on the call, so y'all make that note. There are 12 months in a year, but do you know which of these months has 31 days? November, March, June, or April?
March.
June.
I need a tiebreaker.
June.
June.
March was the correct answer. One of the easiest things to cook is pasta. How long should pasta boil for?
10 minutes.
10.
Good job. What's the first step of the Heimlich maneuver?
Make a fist.
First, stand the person upright. When's election day in the U.S.? This one's coming up.
November.
November.
Is it the third Tuesday of November or the first Tuesday after the first Monday of November?
First Tuesday.
There's
First.
Yeah.
If you're discarding an old computer, what's the only way to ensure there's no data on the hard drive?
destroy it.
Destroy it, yeah. Okay. How often should you change your bed sheets?
Every 2 weeks.
Every week.
We had some 2 weeks, some every week. Let's see. Every 2 weeks, but every week is just fine too. Where can you find the switch that controls all the electricity for your house?
Circuit breaker.
Awesome.
Breaker box.
So the circuit breaker box, we definitely, if you use a generator this past week, you probably had to visit your circuit breaker box to turn everything off. So that should be pretty timely for everyone. How long should you let rice simmer when preparing a pot of rice?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Good job. Oh, it's 20 minutes. You can tell Miss Hannah uses a rice pot. I'm live, by the way. Okay, which of these options would make for the safest internet password? Which one do y'all think?
D. The lower right corner.
The lower right. It'd be hard to remember, though, I think. Which of these CPR steps comes first, rescue breaths or chest compressions?
Chest
Chest
compression.
compression.
Good job, y'all. At what angle should your ladder lean against the wall in order to safely climb it?
90 degrees.
No.
Yeah, 90.
45.
70 to 80. Almost. 70 to 80. Which of these items is least needed when starting a charcoal grill?
Candle.
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 Good job, y'all. Okay, you've learned how to deep fry food, and now you have a pot of used cooking oil on your stove. How do you get rid of it? Down the drain, down the toilet, in a container, or out the window?
In a container.
Our window.
into a container. Should you floss your teeth before or after you brush?
Before.
Or
Before. Before. Okay, awesome. Those were just a few quick quizzes. There's some more questions on that quiz. Earlier in the chat, Miss Hope did drop the link to that quiz if you want to take it. Look, she put it again for y'all. So as we're finishing up with our special program for today, I'd like you to tell me how you'll use this information in real life. So either from the gluten lesson or the life skills lesson, tell us in the chat how you'll use this information in real life. And it can be about either lesson, the gluten or the life skills. So these special programs like we did, the gluten lesson and the life skills lesson, this is something that we'll be doing every month at our meeting. So if you're new to 4-H, that's something to look forward to. We always do a special program at our meetings. So in the chat, if you want to just put how you'll use this information in real life, either something to do with the life skills lesson or the gluten, we appreciate that. And then also something we do every single month is a trivia question. So for the trivia, if you'd like to enter the trivia contest, you can answer this question that's on the screen. What do the 4-H's stand for? And you can email that answer to stmartin4h@yahoo.com. And so we'll pick the first 5 correct answers that we get from each club, and those students will get a prize the next time we see them. So you can email your answer along with your full name, the school you attend, and your grade level. So for y'all, you'd put your full name, member at large, right? And your grade level before October 25th to stmartin4h@yahoo.com. And each month we'll have a different trivia question. Sometimes we do different trivia questions depending on your grade level. And you can find that information. We always talk about it at your 4-H meeting, but you can also find the trivia question in our monthly newsletter. Okay, so we're just going to take a quick minute and show you how to find our monthly newsletters. Miss Hope is putting links in the chat, so you can always go back there and reference it. But just to have an idea, since we're meeting virtually after every member at large meeting, we'll send out a follow-up email with all of these links. I know there's a lot going on in the chat box and with the links and those kinds of things. So we'll send out all of these links either the night of or the day after our at-large meeting. So that way you have all of the information in one place and can easily access it after the meeting. So we're just going to take a little minute. We did try something new this year, and we did a virtual newsletter. So if you see in the links, it's called a sway, and that's a virtual newsletter. We'll just take a little minute to go over our newsletter. We do have different ones depending on your grade level. So if you're in 3rd grade, you're considered a Clover Bud. And in your newsletter, I'll kind of explain a little bit more about what Clover Buds are. But as 3rd grade 4-H members, we really just want to introduce you to 4-H, show you all the different project areas that we have. And that's really the main goal, is just as an introduction to what 4-H can offer. And then 4th through 6th graders and 7th through 12th graders, since we have different opportunities available to those different age students, that's why we really try to separate those newsletters out. So as you can see in the virtual newsletter, it should be showing on your screen. We have some of our officers leading us in the pledges. That way you can practice and get good at saying the pledges. We have a quick welcome to 4-H, a little information on meeting the 4-H agents, Miss Hope and Miss Hannah. If you want to know just a little bit of background information on 4-H, it's there. Also the link to join and enroll in 4-H, that's there as well. As a 4-H member, you can expect to have fun, participate in different events, make friends, go to meetings, community service, 4-H portfolios at the end of the year, and then ask questions if you have any along the way. There's some information for your parents if they have any questions about 4-H, some 4-H fun facts. And again, our newsletter will be different every month. So whatever information is timely at that given month, we'll always have calendar of events set up of what's happening. where to find us on social media, livestock info, shooting sports, Fall Fest. And we'll talk about all of these things as we keep going in our meeting today. So that's just a little overview of what you can find in our monthly newsletter. So if you're looking for any information that we may have talked about at the club meeting, or looking for more information on a topic that we discussed, you can always find that in our newsletter. And again, those are posted. Those are the newsletters are posted on our social media outlets. Also, we're working to get them on our lsuagcenter.com webpage. But they'll also be emailed out to you directly once you're enrolled in 4-H and we have access to your junior leader. I'm sorry. Once you have access to your email address, once you enroll, we'll email the links to you as well. I see we got a question in the chat about 4th graders having to do homework on their own. If Hannah, maybe if you want to turn your mic on and just tell us a little bit, I'm not sure what homework you're referring to. Do you mean like your project book? What homework are you talking about? Okay, so as we wait for a little clarification on that question, then we'll just move right in to talking about 4-H Fall Fest. So 4-H Fall Fest is one of our big contest days of the year. Even though we won't be able to have it in person this year, we do still want to offer our Fall Fest contest. So Ms. Hope did drop the link to the Fall Fest article on our .com website, so if you can access the rules there. They're also in the newsletters, and they'll go out tomorrow as well. So at Fall Fest, we're going to have 3 different contests. And they're all going to be held virtually. So all contest submissions will be due to St. Martin 4-H at yahoo.com no later than noon on November 7th. So you can certainly send them in prior to that or before, but that's the last, that's the due date for those contests. So we'll have a virtual pet show, a 4-H chef contest, and a pumpkin decorating contest. And we do ask that as participants or 4-H members, as 4-H members are competing in these contests, that the parents are more than welcome to help their students, but we do want majority of the work to be done by the student, and that way, you know, they're able to have that learning opportunity. I do see some clarification on the question earlier. On the newsletter, it said you have to do your homework on your own. So whenever you do a 4-H project, we just ask that the 4-H member do majority of it, right? So whenever if you submit something for Fall Fest, we know that a 4th grader is capable is something different from what an adult is capable of. So you're more than welcome to have an adult help you with your project, but we want majority of the work to be done by you, the 4-H member. And that way, if you get an award or a ribbon or something like that, it's something you've actually earned. Okay, awesome, great question. So for the pumpkin decorating contest, you can decorate your pumpkin or carve it. We do have 4 different categories this year: an animal pumpkin, a Louisiana commodity pumpkin, celebrity lookalike pumpkin, and team spirit pumpkin. So these contests are open to any 4-H members. We ask that you email a picture of you and your pumpkin to stmartin4h at yahoo.com. In the subject line of the email, go ahead and put pumpkin decorating contest, and then in the email include you, the 4-H member's name, your 4-H club, and your grade. So it'd be like member at large, 4th grade, and then which category you chose. So that way we know if you're animal pumpkin or Louisiana commodity pumpkin, we know where to put it at in the judging. So again, all of these entries will be due by email on November 7th at 12 p.m., which is noon. The next contest is the 4-H pet show. So again, this will be a virtual contest. We're asking you, the 4-H member, to take a picture with your pet and email that to stmartin4h at yahoo.com no later than November 7th at 12 noon. In the subject line, put pet show, and then include your name, member at large, your grade, and the category. So we have dogs, cats, and any other pets. So for the smallest and largest contest, we are asking that you include a picture of your pet along with the measuring tool. So like if you're using a ruler or a tape measure, go ahead and include that in the picture so we have a measurement of your pet. And if it takes 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 pictures to get the whole ruler or to get the whole pet and the pet with the 4-H member, we'll take them. We'll love to see your pictures. So there's just some different rules and things like that on this page. But if you have any more questions, you can either reach out to us at the 4-H office or go ahead and access those rules yourself online. The 4-H chef contest is a super new contest. We'll have divisions in ground beef, sugar, and edible art. And what we're asking y'all to do for this contest is to email a video or a picture of you, the 4-H member, making your dish. So it could either be cooking show style, so like a video, or if you don't have access to making a video, you can go ahead and take pictures of yourself making a dish along the way. We ask that you have no less than 3 pictures. So a picture of your ingredients, a picture of the cooking process, and a picture of the final product. Feel free to include other pictures along the way, along with a copy of your recipe. We really want to know, we're going to be focusing on food safety, the appearance of your dish, evaluating your recipe, and also your presentation. So how do you have the final product set up for the last picture? Do you have all of the ingredients laid out and measured correctly? Those kinds of things, and make sure the recipe matches what you were doing in the pictures or the video. I'm really excited for this contest. I think it'll be super fun to see. I know we have a lot of cookery contest participants, so I think this will be a fun way to still be able to do a cooking type contest, but still have it done virtually. So I think this will be I'm excited. I hope y'all are excited for this contest. So that's everything for Fall Fest. Again, if you have any questions about Fall Fest, you can visit the rules on the lsuaxner.com website under the St. Martin Parish page. They're posted to our social media. Also, they'll be in your newsletter as well. And again, that newsletter will be emailed out at the end of today's meeting. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Hope for this slide.
All right, just a little bit of information about shooting sports this year. As you'll know, the school system actually started later during the year, and so has our 4-H enrollment. So therefore, our shooting sports program is going to get a later start as well. I have an email drafted up. I'm just waiting to add a few more things. I should be sending it out this evening to our shooting sports instructors, informing them about a coaches meeting next week so we can start planning our shooting sports program for the year. Shooting sports is open to all youth who are at least 9 years old prior to January 1st, 2021. If you are planning on participating in the shooting sports program, then when you do go to the enrollment form online, you should check the shooting sports project. I'm not sure if it'll just give you the option of shooting sports or it might force you to pick a discipline, but either way, we're going to get the information to you after that. Those who select the shooting sports project on their enrollment will be sent more information about the registration process, the fees, workshops, clinics, open houses, safety meetings, all that good stuff. So first thing to do is to join 4-H and check off shooting sports as one of your projects so that we'll know to send the information to you. Each person in the shooting sports project will get a book related to the discipline that they choose, but those will not be available until the first shooting sports workshop, which will be announced at a later date. There are extra fees and requirements for those in the shooting sports program. As always, adult supervision is very important, and there'll be some few extra rules and requirements this year, especially with the COVID-19 and wearing masks and spreading out and how many can be in a place at a time. So we're going to work through all those issues and still bring shooting sports to our parish. I'm not sure if there's another slide or.
The next one's livestock. Any questions about shooting sports? Okay, we're going to move on to livestock. So livestock is another program area where we want to make sure that if we have anyone who's interested, we get them in contact with the 4-H office as soon as possible. There are some deadlines that are approaching and those kinds of things. So we want to make sure that we get your enrollment in, and that on your enrollment form, you check the livestock projects you're interested in. Livestock is open to any 4-H members who will be 9 prior to January 1st of 2021. Once you're an enrolled 4-H member, on your enrollment card, you'll select one of the livestock projects, and that will give us a notification that you are interested. If you have any specific questions about livestock, you can reach out to myself either by phone or email. I'll be more than happy to walk you through or answer any questions. Before you purchase an animal, I do encourage you to reach out to us. That way we can make sure that you're getting something that's showable and fits into the livestock project. There's also some deadlines of possession dates of when those animals should be in your possession in order to be considered a 4-H livestock project. Early November for poultry, and as well as beef, dairy, sheep, and goats, and then early December for swine. Rabbits is January 1st, and horses April 1st. So if you have any questions about your livestock project, or if you are new to the livestock project, I do ask that you reach out to myself either by phone, email, and let us know. Once I get your enrollment, I'll be reaching out to you as well. We hope to have our livestock first packet to go out by mid-November, but we will have some livestock planning meetings going on this fall and workshops and things like that as well. We're still working out logistics to be able to host in-person meetings when it comes to workshops and clinics. So we're working with our state guidelines as well as our local guidelines and ordinances to make sure that we meet all the safety protocol as well as follow all the rules around keeping y'all and us as safe as possible. So we are still planning to offer livestock clinics and workshops as well as shooting sports, 4-H workshops in general, but want to make sure that we're doing it at the best way possible. So any questions about livestock? Awesome. We're going to move on to junior leaders, which is another one of our big project areas. Our junior leader club is open to our 7th through 12th grade 4-H members. Junior leader meetings are normally held like the last Monday of the month. They're held in addition to your normal member at large club meeting. If you scan the QR code on the screen, you'll find the junior leader membership form. Also, you can find it at the link down at the bottom, and Ms. Hope through the link in the chat as well. So junior leaders is really just an additional extra 4-H experience for our junior high and high school students. We get together once a month. They volunteer at different events, do things. They help the community, and they go on tons of fun trips too. So we do have some junior leader meetings, some junior leader members here in our member at large club. So we're really excited to kick off junior leaders. Our next and first meeting of this year will be held on October 26th. It will be a virtual meeting starting at 5 p.m. If you'd like a link to that meeting, then you can go ahead and either register on the membership form or reach out and email me, and I will send you the link to that meeting. Those invitations will be sent out pretty shortly, but if you want to get on the junior leader list, just reach out to me, and we'll get that set up as well. Okay, so each year the St. Martin Parish 4-H Foundation hosts an annual fundraiser selling sweet potatoes and pecans, and the 4-H Foundation, it really helps offset or covers the cost of our 4-H program. So if anyone would like to purchase sweet potatoes or pecans, the sweet potatoes are Louisiana grown on Garber Farms in Iota, and the pecans are from the Point Capee Pecan Company. Orders are due to the St. Martin Parish 4-H office by November 10th, and pickup of these orders will take place on November 24th from 3 to 5:30 p.m. at the barn behind Burbridge High School near the football field. If you're interested in ordering, there's a downloadable form on our LSU Ag Center website. You can contact the 4-H office to have one emailed to or mailed to you, and also you can find one in your newsletter once those are sent out. Does anyone have any questions? I know we went over a lot of information, y'all. I'm so glad that everyone was able to join us today for our first ever virtual at-large meeting, but I'll saved a few minutes for questions. If anyone has any they'd like to throw in the chat or activate your microphone, let us have them. No questions? Well, myself and Miss Hope can stay on. Cristiano asked about the scavenger hunt. I'm not sure which scavenger hunt you are referring to.
I think he's referring to the one for don't we have that for junior leaders, the scavenger hunt online thing?
Oh, Cristiano, are you talking about the junior leader officer meeting where I emailed you the instructions for the scavenger hunt? That's for the general junior leader meeting on October 26th.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. It took me a second. Thanks, Charlotte. It took me a minute to figure it out. So, yeah, so that's for the junior leader meeting. You and Charlotte will lead that activity.
Okay.
Awesome. I'm glad y'all were prepared, though. Y'all knew exactly what y'all were talking about. I appreciate it. I think Miss Hope's typing something real quick. So, well, that's all I have for y'all today. Oh, Miss Hope again put the enrollment link. Don't forget to enroll in 4-H. Once we get you enrolled and we get you in the system, we can get all your project areas listed and get you on those mailing lists to make sure that you're getting all the information. So if anyone has any questions, I'll stay on for a couple more minutes, but be looking tonight for an email to go out with all the links that we talked about today. I know it's a lot of information, so. If anyone has any questions, we'll be here. But if not, thank y'all so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Our next at-large meeting will be the first Thursday of November. And I'll send a link out probably a week before the meeting. So the first Thursday of November, we'll have a meeting. But other than that, that's it. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Y'all too. November 5th is the next meeting. Hey, if your phone number is 322-5834, do y'all want to tell me what your name is? And that way I can make sure you're on the email list. If you're on your cell phone. That's the only one I didn't get a name for, Miss Hope. So I was hoping they'd tell us who they were. Let's see.
Yeah, I saw 316 number earlier, but they got off before the end of the call.
Okay. I'm going to stop the recording.